music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. This is my review for Pose. This is season 1 episode 2. Y'all asked for it. I honestly did watch episode 1. I was going to review it, but I kept getting behind, and once it had been on for like 5 or 6 days, I was like, I'll just review episode 2 and not worry about episode 1. I was first apprehensive over reviewing the show because when I heard of the show Pose, I did not know exactly what it was going to be about. I could not tell from the previews what it was, and you know, I'm not gay, I'm not bi, I'm not trans, so I don't know anything about that world. So I said I don't want to review this show and say anything that's offensive, because I'm like, I might not know something that is acceptable for them and I'm cracking jokes about it. So I'm like, I didn't want to do that. So I watched episode 1. I loved episode 1. My only issue was that the show is an hour and a half every week. And I'm like, I love it, but bitch, I'm tired. Like, it's 3:16 in the morning because I have so many shows to review on Sundays. I wish it was just an hour. But you know, it's fine. You know, it is what it is. But I'm like, damn, every episode gonna be an hour and a half. Okay. So, but yeah, I think it's a great show. So I'm here to review it, bitch. Okay. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Also, do not forget to like the video. Yes, I have t-shirts available, as you saw from the preview before, and the link to get any of the shirts or even my mug is in the description box below. So don't forget to hit that. So we see the episode opens up with a ball, okay, and it's a ball, and we see Angel from the house of Evangelista walking in her weather girl look. Now, the last episode, you know, when she tried to come through and they read her for filth, okay, I'm like, okay, she has redeemed herself. And I feel like the outfit she had on, which is like, it looks more fancy. So I'm like, okay, either that dude, you know, what's his name, Sam, who's the guy, the dude she dating is, you know, like her, whatever. I say maybe he paying her money and she can afford better clothes, because I'm like, the outfit she had on, like, she deserved to win. So I'm like, it's a great thing. She got all 10s. She got her little award. So she got, you know, she redeemed herself from the last episode. But at this point in time, we feel like, I mean, Blanca, like, I'm going to challenge, you know what I'm saying, Elektra from House of Abundance, because of course that's her old mother. They kind of have this whole rivalry thing now because she left the House of Abundance, made the House of Evangelista, so it is a thing. And so at first Elektra's walking, and she's walking, and she's walking, and she's walking, and they're like, okay, you know, she's gonna win because no one else here can challenge her. And then here come Blanca, and I'm like, Blanca girl, you challenged her last week, child. Like, don't do it again. Like, you challenged them last week. You lost last week. I mean, like, give yourself some time, honey, child. Just give some time. But she came out. She looked great. The dress was great. I preferred Blanca's look over Elektra's look. I thought Elektra's look looked like it needed some oomph. Like it was flat. It looked like she's had the outfit for a while. It used to be nice and frilly and pop, and it was just like like it was just frumpy. I didn't like it. I mean, it was great, but it was frumpy great. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the color of the dress that Blanca came out with, it gave me more. So I would have also said that Blanca would have won. So when the judges score, they gave, 10, 10, 10, 9. She's like, 9? Explain yourself. And Blanca can read, honey. She can read for the gods, if you ask me. And then he say, I will give you an explanation if your dress didn't look like the lining of a coffin. I say, it do look like the lining of a coffin. He's absolutely right. And the thing about it was, had people been giving her 10s because she's the mother from the house of abundance, and it's just, she's just expecting to get 10s because she's earned a 10 regardless of what it was, and whether that finally someone saw, well, the dress wasn't all that, like, and I'm not gonna give her a 10 just because she's Electra from House of Abundance. Like, let's be honest here, let's give her a read. So it was great. We then seen how they gave Blanca 10s, like 10s across the board, and so she won, which kind of makes Alexis, Lord Jesus, Electra pissed off. But I'm looking like, okay, girl. So what I'm saying, when she kind of checks Blanca at the end, like, I know Pray Tell must have made your dress, and he probably talked to the judges as well, and asked them to school you higher, but I don't really care. She said, you are the Cracker Barrel to my Gucci. I look like, damn, Cracker Barrel and Gucci. I said, okay, all right. But I like what Blanca's like, girl, why you so mad? Like, if I'm nobody, if I'm nothing, why do you care so much? You know what I'm saying? We aren't where you are, but we on our way. And I said, that girl, yes, it really, really is. She says, soon everything new will be old, and everything old, like you, will be in the gutter. I said, look, I can't even keep up with the reads of y'all coming here to hear me repeat all the reads. I can't repeat them all because it is just, some of it is long and drawn out. Sometimes it's a whole little just roll of a tongue of stuff. So I can't get, but honey, it's all of that. So I'll catch the stuff that I can catch. And so at this point in time, they kind of break it up, and she leaves Blanca to her trophy or whatever. So Blanca leaves, and so we then see Damon. I love Damon's story about being put out, his father beating him or whatever. He came to New York and got into the house of Evangelista with Blanca. So I loved his story from last week. Anyway, he sit on the little stairs or whatever, and a little cutie named Ricky walk up like, hey, you're cute, I like you, y'all house is doing really good, really well. You know what I'm saying? And now they're flirting back and forth, and now they're gonna go on a date. It was really cute about how they kind of, was talking or whatever. He like, well, can we just go get some food or whatever? Like, sit down. And Ricky said, well, sitting down and eating food mean you got to tip somebody, all that stuff. He like, and I don't have that kind of money. Basically, like, but we can go get a slice of pizza and like walk and talk and like do that kind of. I'm like, no, that's cute. So Blanca said, yeah, go out, have fun. Just be back by curfew at 3:00. So we on a date. They're in like a park talking at this point in time. It's it's nighttime or whatnot. And when Ricky puts his arm around Damon, because they were talking about Janet Jackson. So I'm like, bitch, they were talking about Janet Jackson copying Michael, and Damon saying, I don't think she's copying him. I think she's gonna be her own, and in 20 years you're gonna tell me how much you were mistaken about Janet. And you're like, oh, you're gonna know me in 20 years. So it was cute to see them kind of have that conversation. And when Ricky put his arm around Damon, he got nervous at first and kind of looked around because he wasn't used to being openly touched or whatever by dudes. And he said, it's okay. We're with our people here. It's okay. And he kind of like, he realized that it was okay to be himself at that point in time. And then he says, I want to show you something. So they kind of run off, and they're running off. And they go to this like big old abandoned building. And this is my thing. I don't trust anyone who brings me to an abandoned building to basically make out or have sex. So, we see Ricky saying how much he loved seeing him for the first time. We saw him dance, and how when he first saw him, he knew he was going to be a star. He just thinks it's a great thing and all these things. And so, Ricky is trying to get it from Damon. It is what it is. But Damon said, like, I'm not ready for that. I haven't done that before. Like, I'm just not ready. Can we just take it slow? Like, can we go on a couple dates first? I'm not ready. I liked how he was honest enough to say, I'm not ready for that. But I still want to get to know you. I think it would have been a disservice if the first scene of him doing something with a dude was him doing it at the pier in this abandoned building. I thought that would, but that is some people's stories. But I felt like I'm happy they didn't make that his story. So Rick's like, okay, no problem. And they basically leave, kind of walking hand in hand, and it's kind of cute. So he do get home late. He's missed curfew. He's trying to sneak into the house because he does not want Mother Blanca being upset, but she's woke. And so he has to have a conversation with her. And she's like, it's 5 a.m. You're 2 hours late. She's upset, saying how I would not have my rules, just kind of broken, all up and through here or whatever. She's like, did y'all have sex? And he's like, no. What did y'all do? He said, we went to the pier, and I didn't want my first time to be having sex in an abandoned building at the pier. So she talks to him because she knows that there are things that he does not know. And she asks, have you ever had the sex talk? And he says, well, yeah, my dad talked to me whatever about the birds and the bees, and he was speaking about women's bodies, and I just felt like that wasn't the talk that I needed. I didn't feel comfortable asking him about how the two men have sex, because he's like, he would have knew that I was gay and I would have been beaten or whatever. So I think it's a great way to say that if a father or mother talks to their gay child about sex, and they don't know their child is gay, so they're not having a gay sex talk or whatever, can that be a reason they don't know what to do? Because they have not been educated on it at all. And who do you go to have a conversation about having gay sex if you have no idea? Because this is the thing. If I remember watching porn, let me rephrase, that does not sound right. I remember people talking about porn, and when a friend of mine showed me porn, I said, they look like they doing some dirty, nasty stuff. If you watch porn and that's your introduction to sex, you won't want to have sex, because it's disgusting. Okay, it really, really is. Especially porn, back in those days. And I'm talking like the late 90s. Okay, because I'm older, so I can only imagine if this is the 80s, you just have no recollection of what gay sex could be, you would be extremely confused about it all. So she talked to him, and she says, okay, gay men have, options about sex. You can be a top, you can be a bottom. Now, when she said you can be a top or a bottom, I said, bitch, let me get my pen. Because, again, I'm not gay, I'm not bi, I'm a straight female. You know what I'm saying? I don't, it is what it is, but I want to know this kind of stuff because I'm nosy. So he said, well, how do I know which one I am? And I said, right, how do you know which one you are? If you're a gay person, how do you know? And then, she said, it's up to you. She said, some like to give, some like to receive, but then some like to have all the pleasures, okay? And then he says, what if I'm a bottom and I fall for a bottom? She's like, don't do that. You can't do that. And I was like, okay. So this is my assumption. If you're a bottom, you it's so weird. If you're a bottom, does that mean the person's having sex with you? And if you're a top, you're the one doing the sexing, okay? And so if you're the bottom and y'all both are bottoms, it won't work out. Is what I was like, this is a real conversation about gay sex on television. Okay. So anyway, she then brings up how, look, I don't care what you do, just protect yourself always. Use protection. If I'm not here, go to the clinic, get some condoms. Just do not ever have unprotected sex, because there's a virus going around that's killing people. And he hugs her and just says thank you. And you then see her sitting there by herself smoking a cigarette, because again, she has HIV, so she's dying, of HIV, and she's trying to, in her own way, advise him on what not to do based on her mistakes of things she maybe didn't know in her lifetime or whatever. And this is when AIDS just started out, so nobody really knew much about it. It just kind of started killing people. It was an epidemic, and it kind of went crazy. So it's a cool thing to see someone that is infected with it trying their damnedest to make sure that other people don't get it. Some people caught it and just didn't care, you know what I'm saying, and would just spread it and be like, whatever, if I'm dying, everybody, I'm taking everybody with me. So it's a great thing to see her say, make sure to have protected sex if you're going to do it. So that was great. Blanca meets with a friend and she's one of the girls from House of Abundance, and I don't know what her name is. And I'm kind of mad because the cast, like on Comcast, you can hit info on the show, and it's supposed to show the cast, their names or whatever, and they don't have any of the people, any of the females. I'm trying to think how you find a word. Like, they don't have anyone who's trans on the cast thing. And I was like, I don't see how Elektra is the main character, how, you know, Blanca's the main character, how Angel's the main character, and even how Damon's the main character, but none of their names are listed as cast. That confused me, so I was like, I don't know what that's about. Anyway, Blanca's being with the girl from House of Abundance, and she's basically saying, like, you know, I'm trying to build my own house, and I was thinking maybe you can come with me, you know, how Elektra doesn't really care for anyone or whatever, so you should just come to my house. She's like, do you know how pissed off she would be if she found out that you're trying to steal me from her? Are you going to tell her? She's like, no, but you know what I'm saying? How do you know that I don't want to have my own house? And I'm like, well, that's true. So, but we then realize they're at a gay bar. And it's a gay bar that only likes, you know, gay white men under 35. And they are trans women who are just not the typical thing or whatever. And so the bartender come over, like, y'all can have one drink, but y'all then have to go because, you know, they don't like y'all, you know, y'all being here. And you realize that at this point in time, there's segregation within the gay community, within the nightlife there. And so, you know, the manager then come over, like, you know, can we talk outside? So they go outside. She's like, I don't see why I can't, you know, why am I being, you know, banned or whatever from here, and this is my community, like, we're all gay. And he's like, no, you know, we're not a gay bar, no, we're not, this is a gay bar, not a drag bar. And Blanca's pissed, of course. And, you know, the friend, like, why are you fighting? This is kind of crazy. She's like, some fights are worth fighting for, because the manager kind of lets them know, like, y'all aren't welcome here. Like, it's segregation within the community, and it just is what it is. Like, go to some other bar, but, you know, y'all just can't come here. So we then see her go back on another night, and she comes in and sit down, like, I want to have a drink. So at this point, she's adamant that she's going to come in here and get a drink and be treated fairly, because at the end of the day, she feels like and for me, it's weird, because if you are a trans woman, you're not a gay man because you're a trans woman. So if you're a trans woman at a gay male bar, are they really I'm kind of confused on that, because segregation is not cool. But if it's a gay bar and you're a trans woman, you're not gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm weirded out about that. But I get the thing that she was mad about was that they didn't like her for who she was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because my thing is, if you go, people, gay bars now, you can be in a gay bar, you can be straight, gay, bi, trans, in the middle or whatever, and it doesn't matter. But back then, her anger was because they just did not accept me. It was, you know, but I was like, you're not a gay man. You're a trans woman. So that part kind of, you know, in my head kind of messed me a little bit. Anyway, when she went back by herself to sit down and have a drink, after she sat down, honey, a man literally came up from behind, yanked her ass up, and threw her out the thing like a piece of trash. And she's like, you know, that's not fair. You know, I should be able to have a drink wherever I want to have a drink at, which is true. So now in her, she's like, I have to fight against this kind of injustice or whatever. Damon is doing good in school with his little dancing or whatever. His teacher is letting him. His teacher is this. She played the sister on the Fresh Prince. She played one of our sisters on the Fresh Prince. That's where I remember her from. Anyway, you know, she's telling Damon how good he is, how he's not even practicing. He's dancing. Like, this isn't dance practice for him. He's dancing. He has something that she can't teach, because he already has it. So, you know, she then invites him to the ballet on Saturday. Now, he's happy about it because he's going, you know, his mother's happy, the house is happy or whatever. But he then says that he was supposed to have a date with Ricky, but he does not have Ricky's phone number. He doesn't have a way to contact him to reschedule. But he's like, you know, I'm going to the ballet because I want to see that. And then his housemate, I can't think of the guy's name, who was the is he Mexican? I don't think he's white. Anyway, the other guy who's there, he's like, you know, well, Ricky is more of a hit and quit guy anyway. So if y'all don't already had sex, he's probably over it and moved on to the next person anyway. So you might as well just move on too. So we then see it's Saturday. He's at the ballet. He's loving it. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing tears to his eyes, and he is very enthused into watching it. He's so enthused he does not know when to clap, and he claps early. And they're like, "No, you clap at the end." But as he's there at the ballet, we see Ricky at the pizza shop, dressed nice with 2 slices of pizza, and he's mad because again he waited forever and Damon never showed up. So for him, he stood me up and he played me, and you know I'm kind of pissed. So I'm looking like, oh, that's really, really sad. So okay, so from there we see Stan. Now Stan is the dude who like Angel, who was out there picking her up from the corners or whatever, and I was assuming he was giving her money because she got some new fashions. Now you know we see him hanging out with his boss or whatever. He got a little, it's a new Cadillac. I think it was a new Cadillac, a new car. His wife got a new dress, and they're kind of keeping up with the Joneses. But at home, honey, they drowning in debt because he's trying to keep up with the damn Joneses, and you should never do that. So you know he's trying to. He has a whole new car. His wife says, "We have now. I have a dress that cost $1,000, and I've only worn it once." And she's like, "So how are we drowning in debt? You know, so if we buy all this stuff, we should be rich enough to at least get a dishwasher." You know, she's complaining like, you know, I'll be up all night washing dishes, but we got this damn car we can't afford, this damn dress. Like, buy me a damn dishwasher. So I feel like we'll stop using so many dishes, make some spaghetti, which is one plate, one pot, and let it be that, honey. So he like, look, you know, we have to have these things to keep up with who they think we are, because if you notice it, people like us don't get into those kind of parties, so we have to play the role. And he then's like, I have to play the role all the time. I have to consistently be this person who they think I am, just to, you know, to get what we have now. And she like, well, damn it, you know, should we keep doing this or whatever? You know, maybe that's not smart. You know, we should not be doing this. And he like, look, I have to be on at all times, and I don't want you making it harder by second guessing me whenever I'm doing something. So he's just pissed off. Okay, he's upset. He's like, you know what? I'm going to work. But I'm like, she says, but it's Saturday. If I'm going to put up with this, I should at least get a dishwasher. But I'm like, he ain't going to work. He going to find Angel. Why? Because he likes him. He likes Angel. But he finds out that she no longer works outside. She works inside at a peep show. So he goes with her at this peep show where you have to put like quarters in there for the blind to open up and close or whatever. I said, really, quarters? Okay, it's like a little vending machine. So as he's walking to her space, he see, you know, there's one dude in there with a big girl behind the glass, you know, another guy in there who jacking off, was so nasty. So he like, this is like a, you know, a filthy little place or whatnot. So when she sees him behind the little curtain or whatever, they talking, and he like, you know, you're too good to work here. I don't like it that you're here. You know what I'm saying? I get jealous thinking about other guys being with you. And she's like, look, I make $125 a night here. You know, I'm not on the streets. No one touches me. And, you know, I'm not a kept woman. You know, a kept woman would have a fridge full of food and a mink coat. I said, well, bitch, you right. That's absolutely true. And she then say, I also have not even seen you in 3 weeks. So, you know, what are you here for? He said, you know, I can't stop thinking about you when I'm at work, when I'm with my wife in the bed. Like, I just can't get you out my mind. And then he like, okay, can we like meet for drinks or food so we can just kind of talk? So she says, okay, fine, we can talk. So when they go talk, she, you know, he like, you know, I just can't stop, you know, I just want to be with you in one way or the other. And, you know, she says, well, look, if you want to keep me as a woman, like, I want you to get me an apartment, and I want a year lease, because I don't want it to be like you put me in an apartment and then once you're tired of me in a month or two, I'm stuck, you know, I'm just ass out. So I need you to do this at the least. I need a year lease on an apartment, and that's the deal. And then he says, okay, he said, but I have to tell you that I won't leave my wife, and I can't see you every day. Because I have to keep up my life in order to even get what you need. And I'm like, this is really like a conversation between a man who want to keep this lady, and she know he ain't my man, but he wants me to be around, and so he's paying to keep me, and I want to be kept. I said, well, bitch, damn, she's a kept woman. Okay. She says, you know, even though she should say no, because he's telling her what he can't do, even when he gets an apartment. She says, because it'll get me, you know, it'll keep me off the streets. It will, you know, give me some spending money for clothes, for the boys, and I have a roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say yes. And so she says, basically, like, what's your deal? Like, are you gay? Are you bi? Like, what's going on? Because, you know, or you just, she said, are you gay? Or are you straight and too afraid to ask your wife to put a finger up your ass? I said, no, ain't that's a real conversation. But we see that they haven't had sex. She said he has not even asked for a blowjob. Like, they just kind of be together. And she's just wondering what he is. And he's like, you know, I'm no one. You know, I'm nothing. He says, you know, I buy things I can't afford, so they're not mine. You know what I'm saying? I accumulate things. You know what I'm saying? I'm a brand. Basically just a middle-aged white guy. I'm a middle-class white guy. And I said the way he explained it was perfect, meaning I'm like a robot and I'm supposed to do all these things because this is the thing that's supposed to be done. So I'm basically no one. I buy things I can't afford, so I don't own anything. See what I'm saying? Because I can't afford the stuff, so it's not really mine. He says, "But you are who you are. You know, you're not walking around in a costume. Like, I feel like I'm a costume because I play the parts of this middle class white guy. But you are being your authentic self." So he says, that even though you are disinvited from the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying, would I want to have one person in my life who is real? I said, well, damn it. Ain't that about a bitch? Okay. It made complete sense what he said. And I think it made somewhat sense that it confused Angel. Okay. She just said, you know what? Well, you know where to find me once you made all these arrangements. So it was what it was. So then, you know, it's that whole thing. The next ball that has is the dynasty thing. Now, Bertel can read all the way up and down this everything. When he said, this is a dynasty, bitch, not Falcon Crest. We don't need no spinoff. I said, bitch, come through, Bertel, okay? Because all the women who came down, like, they fashion did look like a knockoff. And when Electra came in, who of course she won, Electra gave me all kind of Diane Carroll feels. Like, it was, I was like, okay, yes, come through, because Diane Carroll was on Dynasty, and that's the feeling she gave me when she came down. The other women came, it was more Golden Girls than Dynasty to me. So yeah, but at this point, Electra was mad because Blanca didn't show. You know, she feels like, you know, she beat me last time, and how dare her ass not come back to let me beat her and, you know what I'm saying, get my title back. She's like, what does it matter if I beat people who don't matter? Like, right now I need to beat Blanca. And so for that, she's kind of pissed off. We do see that Damon and Ricky kind of have a conversation because he saw him again, and, you know, at this point in time, Ricky with a female. And so Damon like, you know, can we talk? Damon says how he's sorry that he missed it because he went to the ballet, and Ricky kind of like, well, whatever, you know, I don't care. It was what it was, you know. You're this, I'm that, and I don't really care. So, you know, Damon says, like, you know, my house mother has rules. I have to follow them. And, you know, if I have to choose between school and a date, I'm going to choose school because I came to New York. I was on the streets. I had nothing, and she took me in. So I'm going to do as she asked of me. And we then find out that actually Ricky lives on the streets. And then he said, you know, when I saw you, I knew you were going somewhere, and I felt like maybe you could take me with you. And then, I hope you will take me with you. And he says, well, you know, you can join the house. Like, you can just join the house. Like, no, I'm a fuck up. I can't do that. You know, I don't belong because I fuck up too much. I'm just on these streets. And then, so it was just that whole thing, and they kind of just walk away from each other. But he goes back later to talk to Damon again. To Ricky again. And he like, look, I got tickets to the ballet, and I want you to go with me. He's like, no, I don't, you know, that's too ugly for me. I don't know. He's like, well, look, the ballet is this day, this time. I'm like, wear a tie, you know, you can't wear jeans, and just, you know, be there. You know, I want to kind of start over, not as like a couple or on a date, but like, this is two friends, you know, just basically just hanging out. And so I'm like, you know, Ricky says, you know, no, I don't, no, I ain't going. But he's like, but you have the information, so, you know, just, it is what it is. So that's kind of cool. You know, we then see Blanca is at work. Blanca works at a nail place. Electra goes in to get her nails a top coat at. I'm like, bitch, a top coat? Okay, whatever. So she go in to get a top coat done, and she basically makes Blanca do it. So they're basically talking back and forth. It's jab after jab, you know, saying read after read, shade after shade. So Electra basically calls her a poor peasant, and then said, you know, you can't beat me and disappear. Like, you know, that's just not how it works. So you have to give me a chance to redeem myself. And you know what I'm saying? Because any one monkey can win a trophy. I said, well, damn, any one monkey. Okay. She said, I know what you've been up to. The whole fight of you wanting to get to that bar and have a drink. But you know what I'm saying? Because once you get the idea in your head, you can't stop. And it is what it is. So she's like, but you really should just stop your little fight and come back to the ballroom scene and handle that. So she says, what you should be doing is using some pond cream on that dusty complexion. I said, bitch, dusty complexion? I mean, Blanca sometimes can look a little dusty a little bit. But I think it's, you know, I don't know. But I said, when she said, I said, bitch, it's true. But Blanca come back like, look, I'm fighting for my house and my children, you know what I'm saying? I know how you get down. You know, you got a whole man, you have a little man toy who pays your way. He pays your bills. He gives the house over your head or whatever. She says the only fight that you have is with your wrinkles and your cellulite. And if I cut you open, there would be dust and 50 rings to read. I say, bitch. She said, dusty bitch is 50. Oh my God. If I cut you open, it would just be dust and 50 rings to read. I say, bitch. She called her a tree. Lord Jesus. And we then see like the end thing is just Electra saying, you know, sometimes in life you have to kind of just accept disappointment. It's like, I'm just wanting the damn top coat. I say, bitch, now she can't put a top coat on. I mean, the reeds in the shade. It's just sometimes it's just so much, and I can't regurgitate it all, honey, but it's wonderful. So anyway, we do see Stan. Then he goes to ask his boss. First of all, his boss is James Vanderbeek. Is it James Vanderbeek? The dude from Varsity Blues is who he is. I'm looking like it's just so weird. But he's going in and asking for a raise, and he's like, close the door. He closed the door. He like, you know, okay, who is she? He's like, well, you must have a new bitch. Like, who is she? He's like, no, my wife just needs a dishwasher. And he's like, you know, look, I'll get you the money, but you can't be lying to me. Like, just tell the truth. You know, who you fucking, what it is. He says, you know, I just need you to know that. He said, you know, he said, okay, I met someone. Yes, she's gorgeous. He says, okay, so you know these things. Don't leave your wife. And if you get her pregnant, the other girl, you know, let me know. And I'm like, little, you know, he can't get her pregnant. Like, that just can't happen. So yeah, but it's weird that he went to his boss for a raise, and the notion of, okay, he must want a raise because he's in this life, and now he has to help pay for a whole nother woman, and that's cool here. And he just so happens to work at the goddamn Trump Towers. Oh, nasty ass Trump. Anyway, we see again Blanca goes back to this bar, and this time she goes, and they're like, why do you keep coming in here? And you know, like, we're going to call the cops or whatever. So she's like, whatever, I don't care. So she sees a black guy sitting in there for the first time, which usually is white guys, and she's like, you know, they don't want us here. He's like, no, they don't want you here, because again, he's like, I'm a black gay male. You are, I think at that point they called people transvestites, which was a derogatory word back then. And so he's like, you know, I'm fine being here because I'm a gay man. You're not, because you're trans. So, and we don't deal with your kind. So you can see the kind of hierarchy of the cliques or whatever. She ends up getting arrested for disturbing the peace for being at this bar. So at the jail, she's bailed out by none other than who? Electra bails her out, and you see Electra kind of just talking to the cops and kind of finessing them, and they don't even realize that she is the same thing that Blanca is. They don't get it because she can pass, and for some reason, but I don't even think Blanca doesn't look like a woman enough to where you would be like, you will be mad about it or whatever. Anyway, so when she bails her out, she's like, you know, you're lucky that my little gentleman caller understands, you know what I'm saying, walking around with it, because you just cost me half of my weekly allowance getting your ass out of jail. And she's like, you know, why did you do it? She's like, well, you know what, because I need you to come back to the ball and be ready to be beat by me. Like, that's what I need you to do. And she's like, you need to get off this whole high horse thing of trying to force this bar to let you be in here. Like, she said, your struggle to be accepted is not my struggle, honey. You see how I talk to those cops. That's fine. I can go anywhere and talk to anybody and be accepted. You don't have that same thing. You know what I'm saying? So your struggle is not my struggle. So it's a weird thing of, even though they're both the same, because Elektra feels as though she can pass and Blanca cannot. She does not care about Blanca's plight to be accepted somewhere, because like, I don't care about that, because that's not my fight. That's yours. Girl, bye. But she's like, I just need you. She's like, my issue is that I was defeated at the ball by you, and I need to fix that. Okay, so get your ass to the ball tomorrow and let that be that. And she's like, was your car going uptown? She's like, yeah, my car is, but then the train is down that way. And don't give her no ride. She's like, girl, please, I bailed you out. That's enough. So, and she's like, is that all that matters to you? She's like, yes, bitch. Like, to her, that's the ball is all they have. The ball is what matters. Nothing else does. So, we then see at the next ball, Blanca and Ivanka, Lord Jesus, Blanca and Elektra does face off again, but this time Elektra wins. And I feel like on some level, Blanca let her win. Like, not let her win as if she was like a shitty competitor, but let her win as in, I felt like she could have wore something better. You know what I'm saying? And she just said, I felt like she thought all Elektra has is this ball. Like, that's all she cares about. It's what I care about too, but the fact that she cares about it so much, let her have what she wants, because right now, I'm not even thinking about that right now, so it was. But yeah, it was cute. And then the ending comes on. We see Stan gets his wife a dishwasher. We see Ricky shows up to the ballet. We see Blanca is outside that bar. This time she did not go in because she's got arrested. And I'm like, girl, don't get arrested no more. And then we see Stan goes to see Angel at the peep show, puts his quarters in, and when the things raise up, he shows her the keys to her new apartments. And I'm looking like, okay. So again, it was a great show. My battery's always low. If you guys have any comments, please put the comments below. I will be back next week. And other than that, peace.